So in the last class, if you remember, we discussed about the Git branching concept. So that how the branch can be created, how you can merge the code. And if there is some error is coming during merging, then what you have to do, you have to manually merge it. These three examples we saw, and if you remember, yeah, we saw the case of the conflict. Okay, when if any conflict is coming, then when you will try to merge it, it will say automatic merge failed. And in that case, you have to manually merge it. Like whichever the line I have to keep, these things we have to do. So anybody practiced with these commands up to here? Anybody? They started with the Git practical.
No, sir. They will start.
Okay. What others? They started. Okay. Okay, that's great. So no error, nothing you got till now, because everything was great.
I think it's just basic, boss. So no error at the moment, but I haven't tried the merging. So I'll try the merging today and see if I do have problems. It's just I couldn't get my head around what is the main working, and then you need to remember the commands. So git add, git commit. So which command to run? So I need to remember that. That's what I'm having difficulty with. But I think if I practice it two or three times, I will remember it.
Sure. Okay. Okay. So today we'll be starting with the static okay. And if somebody is still not completed, so please try to complete it. Okay. So before trying to understand what is actual stashing is, okay, so you have to understand when we have to use the stashing. So there is a situation comes, take an example, let me first open it. So the first thing you have to do. So this was the Mumbai gate. Yes, this is not for your use cases. So okay, so these were the files we created already. I quickly check the status of this. So everything is committed, nothing we have to do here. Okay. Now, sometimes what happens is, like there is a file called new file, or there is a file called Mumbai file, right? If I try to read the thing that is written inside the new file. So in the new file, there is two line written. Okay, and this two line, if you try to see it in our GitHub, that is also exact same thing. Because we already pushed this code, and in the new file here also, you will see that two line on. Let it open. Okay, so this two line is there. But sometimes what happens when you work in the real scenario, okay. So every day basis, your manager will assign some task to you. Okay? And they will ask you like today you will be doing some changes in the Mumbai file one. Or today you will be doing some changes in the new file. Something like this. And take an example for today, you have to do some changes in the new file. Like this is the new file. In this, you have to write 10 lines of code or 15 lines of code. Okay, like you have to complete this file. Currently, this file is half only. Okay, and you have to complete it. So what will happen? Once manager asks you to complete this code, you will start to write. And you retain 4 to 5 lines of code in this. Okay, like there is 2 lines already there, and you added 4 to 5 more lines here. But I will require at least 10 to 15 lines of code to complete this. But till when you completed the 4 to 5 lines of code, okay, manager is calling you again, and he is asking you that whatever the code you are working on, keep it on hold. Okay. And please complete some changes, whatever I am telling you, do it in the Mumbai file one. Okay. That means you are currently doing the changes in the new file. Okay. And you already written 4 to 5 line of code, but your code is not completed. So if your code is not completed, so you cannot commit that code, right? I cannot do git commit and I am completing that code. That is not the correct way, because if your code is not completed, why you will commit the code? So in that case, will require some temporary storage type of the things. Okay, because I am going to leave this file, new file in between only, and I will be keep working on this Mumbai file. But once I will do some changes in the Mumbai file one also, and when I will hit the command git status, we'll see that both the file will have the changes. Mumbai file one also, new file also. Okay. But new file is totally not completed, so we cannot commit it. Right? In this case, there is a concept of called stashing comes in the picture. Stashing say if your code is not completed, so what you can do is you can move whatever you code written. Okay, like I written 4 to 5 new lines. Okay, that new lines will be moved to the stashing area. Stashing is just a local storage. Or in our Windows, whenever we download some file, we see it as a temporary storage. Okay, just give me a second. Yeah, I'm increasing the fonts. So we retain 5 to 6 line here. We have to move it to the temporary storage. Temporary storage is exact same thing in our Windows laptop. We have the temp storage. Okay. So temporary storage. So let me show you quickly how temporary storage is going to work. So if you'll see here, currently take an example for our scenario I'm giving. This is a file everything. Okay, and it is everything is already committed. If I check the status, you'll see everything is already committed. Now what we are going to do is we know that this is the file, new file. I'm going inside this new file and I start to write some commands here. Okay, like whatever the code I want to write it inside this file, I started to write it. So like I am writing here, take an example, third line of code, fourth line of code, fifth line of code, sixth line of code, like this. Okay. Up to here I written. And in between only my manager called me and said me that this is not a priority task, whatever you are doing in the new file. Okay. There is one problem came in the Mumbai file one. So can you first check the Mumbai file one? So in our side, what we can do now, because we already written 3 to 4 line of code, right? I cannot delete it. What I will be doing is I will save this file here. Okay. If I'll save this file here and if I'll do git status here, you'll see that the changes happen in this new file. Okay. But I don't want to see this new file changes now. Why? Because I don't know whatever the code I written in the new file till now. Okay, is it working? Because I never tested that code. I just completed half of the code. I have to write again half part of the code. Then only I can test it whether my code is running or not. If any issue is with my code or not. Right. So how I can go and change the Mumbai file one? Because this is the priority of our manager. That first I have to modify the Mumbai file. Okay. And even if I will try to open the new file and whatever the new line I added, okay, and I will delete it, then again that will be the problem. Okay, because take an example, currently only 4 to 5 line is there. But when you will be going in the real world scenario, maybe you written hundreds line of code. So deleting the 100 line of code and again rewriting it, it will be such a difficult task, right? So for that purpose, rather than doing the git commit, git add, something like this, or manually removing the file from the new file. Okay. What you can do is you can directly hit the command git. Okay. Git, can you stash the things like this? Git, can you stash? Stash is basically we are saying to Git that whatever the new changes I done till now, okay, move it to some temporary storage or something. I'm just doing git stash. If I do git stash, See what happened. They say that whatever your changes you've done in the working directory, okay, that I saved. Okay, and if I try to now do the git status, you'll see there is no changes is coming. Okay, that means everything is clean. Even if I try to read the new file, so whatever the things I written after hello Kisan and hi Kisan, we written third line of code, fourth line of code, fifth line of code, everything is gone. Okay, that means again it becomes totally new repository. Okay, where we have all the commits of the previous session on. Whatever the changes I done in the new file, that is not visible here now. Now I will complete my manager work. Manager said me to complete the Mumbai file work. Okay. I'm opening this file, and here take an example already. This much line of code is there, and I got to know that I have to add some more lines of code here. Okay. So take an example. I'm writing like this. Okay, so I added 3 lines of code, and now I know that this code will be going to work perfectly. Okay, so I will save this file. Again, you will do same thing, git status to check. So we are seeing that Mumbai file 1 is modified. Next step will be git add. Second step will be git commit -m, and I will give the message that I modified the Mumbai file 1. Okay, modified the Mumbai file 1. Okay, like this way I give it, and I will push the code out. Because my manager asked me to do this on the priority basis. That's why I done the changes in the Mumbai file 1, and I am pushing that code also. So to push the code again, first username and whatever the token related to my account. So let me open my token. Okay, so we done that. And now if we'll come on this browser, and if I'll refresh this file, go back, and I done the changes in the Mumbai file 1. So see, this whatever the changes I done in the Mumbai file 1, that is this one. Okay. Now, once I completed my work of the manager, then again I have to complete my previous work that is assigned to me. Okay. What was our previous work? Previous work was to do the changes in the new file. But now if I try to see the content of the new file, content is gone, right? Whatever I written, I already written 4 to 5 lines. Okay, and I don't want to write it manually. So if you remember, we done the git stash that time. So I will again hit the git stash, and I will ask git stash, can you show me the list, whatever the information you saved that time? So they say that I saved the information at this index. Okay. So if you want to get it back, what you can do is you can just hit the command git stash and then apply something like this. First, you have to check the git stash list. They will show you the list. Then you have to just hit the command like this, git stash apply. Okay. And this is the index, right? So just copy this index up to here. Okay. And paste it here. Git stash apply like this. Once I will do this, you will see some interesting thing. Currently, cat new file contains only 2 lines. Okay. I'll do enter. And now see, automatically they are saying your new file is modified. If I'll now again read the new file, so see, whatever the code I written previously, that came back to me. Okay, so that is the use case of the stash, where we are storing our the temporary storage, and whenever our work is completed, we'll again call that code from the temporary storage to this. Now again, I will open this new file. Okay, again I can do the edit part after this. Like take an example, I again editing this, and again I am writing some line of code. Like this, I added and taking like more line. So 9 line of code now I completed. Again, same scenario came. Okay. Again, manager asked me that whatever the changes you are doing, okay, so let it be aside and can you do one more work for me? So I again know that in the new file I already done so many changes, and 9 line of the code I written. Okay. whatever new file it is. Yeah, so this much is there. But now this time manager is asking me, can you do some changes in the USA file one or branch one file like that? Okay. So again, I have to move this code to this stash. Again, I will do the exact same thing. Git, can you stash it? Now again, I will do git stash. And again, if I'll do git status, you'll see that again, everything is clear. See, how many stashes can you have? Again, it is an unlimited number. There is no count on that. Okay. How to identify them without opening every stash? What is the part that you are asking? Can you be specific?
Sorry, if you have like 10 stashes, how do you identify without opening every file? Because some files could be massive. So how do you know
No,
which
see,
one's good stash?
the latest stash will be always with the index 0. Okay. And oldest one will be like that one. And if you are having 3 stashes, okay, take an example. So latest one will be the 0, previous one will be 1, and previous to previous will be at 2 number. Okay, I will show you. Like this way, we done the stash. And again, you can do the work, everything like you are doing as well. Okay, like I can go in the branch one file, I can do the changes, everything. But again, if I want to take back my code, again, I will do like this git stash list. Okay, so now there are 2 stashes there. One is the stash at the rate 0, stash at the rate. If I do git stash apply stash at the rate 1. So in this case, in this new file, we'll get only 6 lines of code. Okay. But when I will do stash at the rate 0, then we'll get the 9 line of code, because this is the latest one. Okay. And see, that's why it is coming here. You're seeing this modified the Mumbai file. This is our last commit. If I'll show you here, git log. This is the last commit which I done, modified the Mumbai file. When I opened the Mumbai file one, I done that. Okay. So after this modifying the Mumbai file one, then I stashed something. Okay. That stash is saved here. Okay, in this one, which is the 9 line of code. And day before yesterday, whenever we are having the last class, that time my last commit was this one, merge conflict solve on January 27. Okay. So after that, today, I done the changes in the new file. So from there, you can get it like this is the changes happen after this commit ID, and this is the changes you done after this commit ID. Okay, like this way from commit ID, you can take the reference. Like this is our last commit, and this is previous to previous commit like that. If I do here, get can you stash apply, okay, and I will give this name stash at the rate 0. So it will apply the latest one. Okay, so at the rate 0 index will be always the latest one. And that's all. Now again, if I create the new file, it will have all the content. And once you done with everything, now you know that yes, I have to write only 9 line of code in the new file. I will simply do again same thing, git add, okay, git commit hyphen m, updated new file. Okay, and then simply you can do the git push also. Let me do git push also. Okay, so once push everything is done, and now you don't have the use of git stash, right? Because we already have done the push everything, and I don't require now any changes in the new file. So I can directly come here and I'll do git stash. Can you clear all these things? That's all. Now, if I do list, see, nothing is there. That means I removed the temporary storage. So temporary storage is like use it for the temporary purpose only. It is not like that you are keeping your hundreds and thousands changes every day on this test. It is not like that. Whatever the changes you are doing, and there is some type of the scenario comes where you have to from one file to other file. That time only use the stash. Okay, because if the more and more index will be going to increase, okay, it will be confusing for you. But again, if index is from index you are not able to understand, you can understand from this. Okay, from your commit ID. So they will show that this changes you done after this committing. Okay, this changes you done after this commit. Like this way you can. Okay. Hope this clear to all of you, right? When to use a stash, when to not Any question, anything? Okay. Now, after stash, we'll be going to understand one is the reset. Okay. What is the reset? So to understand the reset part, let me again show you everything. Okay. Sometimes what happens, we create some file. Okay. Like I am creating a file with the name test file. Okay. Yeah. And before showing it, let me show you quickly with the status equal to everything is clean, nothing we have to commit, nothing to post. Okay. That's clear already. Unless now I am creating a file called test file. And I am writing something. Okay. Like something, take an example, I written something wrong code here or something like this. Okay. And I done the control D. But I did not check that whatever the code I written in this test file, okay, that is wrong. Okay. And if I do git status here, so they will say that this is the untracked file. So you have to track it. So the first thing you have to hit the command git add. Okay. Once you will hit the add command, then you'll do git status. Then you'll see this file is added here. And the next step will be git commit. Okay. But before committing the code, somehow I got to know that whatever the code I written in this test file, okay, that is wrong. Okay. I don't have to now commit it, right? Because I know that this is the wrong code or something. Okay, I done it wrong. So in that case, if I already moved our code to the staging area, that is this one green color, that means our code is moved to the staging area from workspace. So if you want to again move your code from a staging area to again back to the working space. Okay, I don't want to move our code from a staging area to commit area. I want to move it back from a staging area to the workspace. So in that case, just you have to hit the command git. Can you reset all the changes, whatever I done now? Okay, so git reset dot. I will press it. That's all. Now if I do git status, see now it's again become in the red color. That means nobody hit the command git add now. Okay, if I hit the git add command, then it will be in the green color. That means it moved to the staging area. But if it is visible in the red color, that means it is in the working space. And that is our final. If your code is moved to the staging area, and then you got to know that I don't have to commit it, there is some issue or something changes I have to do. So I can move again back to it to the working space by using the command git reset space dot. Okay, so this is going to help it. Okay, and now again your file is moved to the working space. Then what you can do again, you can change this file. Okay, you can edit this file, whatever the changes you want to do. So from wrong code, now I am changing this as a right code. Okay. Now once everything is done, then again I can move it. Git add dot. Again our file moved to the staging area. Okay. Again, if I want to move it back to the workspace, so again I can do the same thing. Git reset dot. Okay, and that is again going to help. Now I will do the git commit. -m test file and commit it. Commit is done. Now after committing the code, okay. See, there is two type of the scenario can. The first thing, you moved your file to the staging area, then you got to know that your code is wrong. So in that case, git reset command is going to help you to move your code back. Okay. Other scenario will be that you already moved your code to the staging area, and from staging area, you move to the commit area also. Okay. And when you go committed the code, when you push the code, okay, then you got to know that whatever the code you pushed it, that is wrong. So in that case, how it is going to help you? So in that case, there is a command called git. Okay. So let me show you again. To see the revert example, what we are going to do is just a minute. Okay, so see now let me push this code up. So whatever the changes I did. Okay, so I pushed everything and everything is updated here. Okay. And if I'll come here, you'll see in this repository, there is a new file will be created with the name test file. Okay, so this is the test file which we updated now 1 minute ago. We'll open this. So see, there are two line of code, high and write code. Okay, so up to here the code is right. Okay, and we pushed it that code to the test file. Now next day when I came to office or something, okay, what I done, I started to edit this test file again. Okay, so I will open this test file and we'll start with it. We know there are two line of the code is already correct, right? Like high write code. So what I done that day, like by mistake, okay, take an example. I removed this code, what was written as write code. Okay, and from here I started to write something else. Something like this, I written a few more lines. Okay, and what I'm doing, I am saving this file. I saved this file. Then again, what is the regular process we do? Git status. Okay, then we do git commit -m git add. Basically, after git status, you have to do git add. Then you have to do git commit -m. Take an example. I'm saying in the message like test file updated today. Okay, like that way, I give you some message here. Once I committed the code, okay, so what is the next step? I will post this using this code, the username. Now we pushed up. Now if I'll refresh this page, you'll see that there is some more line of code will come. Okay, by a wrong code here. Okay. Now my manager is saying this code and he's saying whatever you done, everything is wrong. Our previous code was working perfectly. Okay. What was our previous code? So if you'll see that this was our previous code, if I'll show you this commit history, this is our correct code, high and right code. Okay, so this was working perfectly. But today I don't know what happened to me, and we done some changes in this, okay, without checking any code or something. And I removed this right code. I added this all wrong code. And then I committed also and I pushed it also. Okay. Once you push the code, okay, like you committed the code and you push the code to this one, so everybody will be able to see it, right? Like your manager, your other person of the team member, everybody is able to see this. So now they will, everybody is depending on your file. So whoever is going to use this test file, either US employee or some other employee, they will see that code are totally wrong, right? What you have to do is you have to make these changes again, right, to the previous commit. So if you'll see here, currently what you do is, right, so you get log -1. So this is the changes item. Okay, so this is the last commit item. Okay, so if I'll see what is the commit items, if I'll just show you, you show me this commit ID. So I will just copy this. Paste it in. Okay, and we are able to see that whenever we are doing the git show, these are the changes we done. Okay, we remove the right code. Now what we have to do, we have to revert these changes because this is a totally wrong changes item, or you can say basically, yeah, or you can say that basically this commit ID, we have to ignore it because this is the wrong commit ID. Okay, in this, when I was committing the code, this is totally wrong. Again, up to here, everything was correct. Test file added. Up to this commit ID, everything was correct. This commit ID is totally wrong. What I have to do is I have to revert it back. So I will directly say git, can you revert? Okay, git, can you revert this commit ID? Because this is the wrong commit ID. We'll just copy this. I will paste it here. I will paste it. Now they are saying you are going to revert test file updated today. Whatever the message you given, test file updated today, that you are going to revert. So do you want to give some extra message to other person? So take an example. I want to give some extra message like this. Please ignore past wrong. Something like this. I give him a message. Okay. And okay, please ignore last wrong comment like this one. And I am saving this file using WQ and I'll press it. That's all. So once we done this, now if somebody will do the git log again, now see, you are able to see here that there is a new message come. this is the message is still available. Test file updated today, and this is the wrong commit. Okay, but again they are showing this revert test file updated today. Okay, I'm reverting the message test file updated today, and I'm saying please ignore the last wrong commit. What was the last commit? Last commit is this one, DBEC. I'm saying you have to ignore this last commit because this is the totally wrong. Okay. Now, if somebody will see this, what is available in this? So git. So can you show me the latest one? Here again, they are saying that I removed whatever the changes you've done previously. Okay, like this is the wrong changes you've done. So I removed everything and I added the correct code here. Okay. If you try to read the test file also. So whatever the changes you've done previously, that is gone, and again your right code came back. Okay. And again, once the right code come back, we'll do simply git. Can you push these changes, whatever we done? Git push. Again, give the username and everything. Password. And password I give it. Now, if I'll do refresh this page, I will go inside this test file. This time I'll be able to see only 2 lines of code. Okay, hi and write code. So let it open. Okay, hi and write code. But if I'll go in the history, okay, if somebody will go in the history, so they will be still able to see in the second update, okay, like this is the wrong code is added by some people. Okay, but after seeing the history, after they will read it here, like revert test file updated today, I reverted this commit test file updated today, and I am saying them please ignore last commit. So now they will ignore this commit. Okay, so they will make sure that this is the correct commit and this is the correct commit. This commit they will ignore it because we given the message also. Please ignore last commit. Okay. So whenever you are committing some code, so you have to understand you cannot revert entire thing. Okay, in history, people will be able to see that you done something wrong or some changes you done. Okay, that was totally wrong. But again, you fixed it. Okay, so whenever we are talking about the command called git reset and git commit. So git reset is only going to help you till when your file is present in the staging area. Okay, but git revert can help you once your file is moved to the commit area. Okay, but again the history cannot be changed, but whatever the code you written, okay, that code will be again modified to the previous original. So that is the benefit. But in history part, if somebody will go in the history, so they will be still able to see that somebody done wrong here, but they will be able to see now the perfect code, that is all wrong code removed, only correct. And revert is basically, if you try to understand again that what is the basics involved between revert. So revert is doing nothing, just rather than taking the code from the last commit, they are taking the code from this commit. Okay, so if you see in the test file added one, you have this 2 correct code, right? And from here only they took the code and they moved this code to this one. Okay, they removed the code, whatever written in this ID, because they know that this is the wrong. So that is the meaning of the git revert. Try to practice 1 to 2 times. Revert also you will get it easily. Okay. Now, after revert, there is a concept called git. Let me show you git. So sometimes what happens, your repository is already created on the GitHub. Okay, like there is a company you started to work on. Okay, and in that company, it is not like you have to create this repository. This repository will be already created by manager. They will have some 100 to 200 files also present there. Okay, so in that case, what you have to do is you have to clone the repository. Okay, so if you want to clone the repository, you have to just come to the repository URL, click on code, click on copy. Okay, copy this, then come to your normal machine, clear all these things. And currently I am present in which location? Mumbai Gate. So I will go back to our normal directory, that is our EC2 user. Okay, now in this we know that there is one directory only present, that is Mumbai Gate. Here I will hit the command gate. Can you clone this repository? This is the URL. I copied this URL from your code and this code. Once we copied this URL and we are doing git clone and press enter, they are cloning this repository, entire thing. Okay, whatever the things is posted here, everything will be cloned. I'll do ls. There is 2 directory created. This is our previous one. This is the new one. Let's go inside the new one. If I do ls, so see all the files came in, like cat test file. Okay, so everything code they are moved it from here. Even I will see the history also, like git log. I'll do see all the history, whatever the changes we done. Okay, and also see they are showing it here. Whenever we are going in the history, they are clearly showing that this is the last commit. Okay, and this last commit have this message that test file updated today. Please ignore the last wrong commit. They are also showing you that this commit ID is reversing the commit of this one. So whatever the changes you done during this time, okay, I updated the wrong code here during this commit ID. So they revert it back. Okay, so now from here, they took the code and they moved it to here rather than moving it from here. Okay, and that's why this revert is one. So this is about the flow. And there is one more thing that is fork. Okay. So sometimes what happens, like take an example, this is my repository. Okay. Now you want to add someone's other repository to your account. Okay. What you can do is take an example. I'm searching in the Google, right? Like I want a Python, something like this. I'm searching, and I got. So take an example. This is a repository created by some other persons. Okay, something like this. And I'm going to this repository, my something like this. What I have to do is I have to copy all the codes, whatever is committed in this repository. This is a repository, take an example, created by Python. Okay, so I want to take this code from here. Okay, so how I can take this code from this repository belongs to some other person to my account. Okay, I will just click on for. If we'll click on for, so see what will happen. We'll click on for. So they are asking, this is your username DevOps, right? And your repository name will be mypy. Okay. Just click on create for here. Now, if I do the create for, you'll see, now see, this mypy is coming under my DevOps hero. And they are saying it should take only few seconds. And see, all the codes came in my now personal repository. From here, if I'll go in my repository, in this repository section, I'm easily able to see that this is the mypy, okay, and that is forked from this account. Okay, they are also giving the information, and we are able to see. Okay, and here again we can do the changes, we can clone it. Okay, we can update the code. Whatever the changes I want to do, we can do it locally. Okay. So basically, it is something like this. You are doing the carbon copy of a code present in someone's other repository. Okay, and you are moving that carbon copy to your personal account. And for your account, this will be totally, you are the owner of this entire repository now. So now you can do the changes, whatever the changes you want to do. Okay, so this is the concept of the forking. And now see, this is my personal repository. That's why if I'll go in the fork option, they are saying cannot fork because you own this repository. Okay, and you are not member or anything. That's why you will not able to fork. So yeah, this was about the Git. Okay, from my end. So any question, anything till now in the Git, you can ask. Okay. And from tomorrow, we'll be starting with the EWS. Okay, we'll start with the EWS. We'll learn all the things. Okay. So anybody here still who have to create the AWS account, or everybody have already created now? You know, everybody have AWS account.
Yeah, yes, I have created, but actually my subscription has been expired. 1 year back, I created.
Create the new account now. Create a new email ID and then create the new account.
Okay, sir. And how about the credit card or debit card which I use, the old one?
No,
which
you
I,
can you can use the same credit card, debit card. They will not ask you.
Okay, sure, sure. Thank you. Yeah, thank
Only
you.
email should be different. That's all.
Okay, sure.
What about others? Everybody have?
Yes.
So try to complete this. Okay, quickly. And someone's mic is open. Is happening.
Previously, I used one credit card for that account. That account was almost suspended. Can I create same?
Yeah, see, credit card information same you can give. Just the email address should be different. That's all. Okay.
Email address.
Yeah, email address should be new because AWS in the backend does not store your credit card information. Okay, and that is illegal also from the government perspective. And nobody can store your credit card information in the background. That's why they only check with the email address. So email address you have to give it new. That's all. Anybody have any confusion till now for the Git side? You can ask me. Or any other problem also you are facing during doing the practical or something. Okay, how many of you completed the entire Linux lab and the scripting lab? Linux and Linux scripting lab, is it completed? Okay, Mac done. That's great. What about others? Okay, Linux is done, scripting in progress. Okay, that's great. Okay, Linux
Sir,
completed.
I have a doubt here.
Hmm.
Sir, every time if you are deploying the VM from the Amazon website, like if you're deploying, let's say example, if you're deploying Amazon Linux, Linux operating system, so every time do we need to update that operating system, or is it okay?
Come again? I'm not understanding.
I mean, let's say example, if I deployed the Linux operating system freshly, so
Yeah,
after
on
that,
the AWS cloud.
yes, and
Okay.
after that, do I need to update? It's a mandatory.
No, see, every day you have to just stop it and start it. That's all. You don't have to create the new every day, right?
Oh, okay, got it.
Or stopping is just like a shut down your laptop, right? Like every day, what we do, we switch on our laptop, we do our work, then we shut it down, right? So same thing
Yes.
here. If you are doing it a stop, that means you are shutting down your system. Start means you are starting it. Reboot means again it is restarting it. Okay?
Yeah. Okay.
Hibernate, again, it is some complex stuff. But if I'll give you the example of Hibernate, so Hibernate is something like, if you know, if you are working in some industry or something, so we always open so many tabs, we open so many applications, right? And we did not completed the entire work for that day, and we want to continue our work from next day, whatever the, like I opened 5 browser here. Take an example. This browser also open, this browser also open, some PDF file is also open. Okay, what I will do, I will do the hibernate. Okay, so that hibernate option you have to enable it when you are launching the instance only. In that case, what
Yes.
happens? Whatever the work is in progress, that will be still in progress even you are shutting down your system. Whenever you will switch on your laptop, again that process will be automatically started. Okay, that is the concept of the hibernate. In Windows also we have that option. And terminate is something like you are selling your laptop. Once you are selling your laptop, then your entire data will be lost, right? So if you are terminating, then you cannot switch on or start the laptop again. You have to create it. So not to terminate, you can
So
play with this.
terminating it will mean, yeah.
Yeah.
So just have a question. Terminating mean it will remove all the VPCs, LS,
Everything,
IPs.
everything, storage, everything will be removed. It will be like that you are deleting, you are formatting your entire laptop and you are giving it back to the AWS cloud. So they can share it to some other person who will require it.
Yeah.
Your laptop is requiring some hardware resources, right? And that resources is coming from some data center. And for that, you are paying AWS some charges. Now you terminated it. AWS are on the rental mode, right? So they have to rent that machine again to some other person who will be asking for it. So that's why they will take the resources, everything, they will format everything, and they will share it to some other. So that is the meaning of
Sir, how can we close the account?
AWS account.
Yes.
Yeah, you can close the account. You have to check it like on Google, like what are the steps they are saying you. But mostly usually like currently what happens that if you don't do the payment of a month, okay, and you don't clear that payment for the next 1.5 months, something like this, They will give you 2 to 3 messages on your, and they will close the account. And once you will complete the payment, then only they open the account. And even if you, in that case also, you are not paying the payment, so then after again 15 to 20 days, they will close the entire account like this. In case of the payment default. And if everything is clear, then you can search it on the Google. Okay, like what are the steps we have to follow to close our AWS account? Like this. Because previously AWS was doing the payment on the bill cycle. Okay, but now AWS say that you have to come to the billing section and you have to do payment manually. Okay, like now AWS cannot cut the payment directly. Whatever the credit card bills, everything we are going. Okay. There is some bills will come like. So this is the billing. Okay. So in this, you are seeing there are some bills associated with that bill is currently utilized with my credit. But if there will be some bill, okay, so we have to pay it manually. Okay, once bill will be generated, we have to come to this payment section. Okay, currently that payment is 0, but we have to do the payments from manually from here. Okay, previously what was happening like 6 months back, automatically some bill will be generated, and after the month end, that bill will be automatically given to your credit card. Okay, and that bill will be automatically deducted. But now you have to manually commit here and here. They will give you the email or something that your account is generated this much payment that you have to do. So you have to manually clear that. Okay, so let's keep up to here only for today. Okay, and from tomorrow we'll be starting with the AWS side. That time I will explain you a little bit more details about all this. Meanwhile, practice the Git related thing. Okay, and video is already uploaded of the last class also. Today also it will be uploaded. Today class also. Documents, everything is already there in the drive. So practice it. Okay. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Have a good day.
Yeah.